You got it right. Mercury is back in retrograde and it's going to be happening from December 29th all the way to January 18th of next year, 2023. In this video, I'm going to break it down for you. What does it mean? What is Mercury retrograde? How you can work with this energy. Okay, Mercury, we're going to talk about the things that you need to know to work with this energy and also understanding how this energy can be working against you. So all of these things in this video. Let's keep watching. Welcome back to Awaken with Tina. My name is Tina Wong, and in this channel, we share about the energy updates, anything that you need to know when it comes to step into your truest, highest alignment. So if you guys are about that life, like this video, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you here. And of course, if you are familiar, if you like our vibe, leave me a comment. I would love to connect with you more. So with that, guys, let's talk about Mercury in retrograde. And I do this times and times over again. If you look at my channel, if you look up Mercury retrograde, you will see some past videos that I've made. But the main thing that you need to know about Mercury retrograde is that the planet Mercury is kind of going backwards, right? And what does that really mean? Let's talk about what the planet Mercury actually represents. Mercury represents communication, travels, contract, anything that technology, anything in that sense. So when things are going backwards, you can look at it as these areas are going a little bit left. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that maybe your emails are not getting sent properly, maybe your technology is not functioning properly, or sometimes your travel plans can be delayed. And it happens. So we're going to talk more about what is it that you need to know about this specific Mercury retrograde, all the hints, all the clues, all the themes that are important for you to work with, to step into your truth, step into your manifestation, but also some things that you may want to be laying low on. Okay, so number one, the first thing that you need to know about this Mercury, see, this is what happens. Communication is one of the things. You're going to be saying some weird things. You're going to make up words. You may have a lot of spelling errors in your email. So if you're that kind of person who, don't want to do that, and you might want to double, triple check what you're going to send to other people. Aside from that, it's in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn is an earth sign, and Capricorn is a very practical sign. So you can look at it in a way that Capricorn cares about how to make something work, right? And clearing out the crap is also a really good time to be clearing out the stuff, because what Mercury energy is that we're going backwards in a way that is reflective. So you're going to see that from now, right, the end of the year into the kind of like first half of the next month in January, you're going to feel into this energy of reflection. Reflecting on what has happened in 2022, what has worked for you, what hasn't worked, what is it that you need to change, what is it that you need to clear out. So this is the energy of that reflection, going and seeing how you can move forward from now, knowing what you know. This is the very important point, because a lot of people can be experiencing things like, memories coming back, even your exes and like your old friends popping out of nowhere. So a lot of like the ghosts from the past can be popping up. As saying, two of my ex-boyfriends suddenly started following me within like 2 days. And it's so creepy. It's like so interesting. But hey, you're welcome. You're watching this. We love you. We're good, right? So anyway, when it comes to the energy of people coming back, it can also seem a little bit like, scary and challenging. But just so you know that everything, right? Everything in this world happens for a reason. So when something's come back or someone comes back, it gives us a check-in point of where we're at, right? So for example, if you just recently broke up with someone, you're like, I'm over him, or I'm over her, or whatever, and then suddenly they come back and you're like, maybe I'm not over them, right? So it's a good point to check in to see, like, are you actually over someone? Or if you say like, okay, I'm really over this behavior of acting like I'm pleasing everybody, putting people first, right? And not putting myself first, I'm gonna do this for the next year, 2023. Yeah, right. And then when something happens, an opportunity, and someone's like being really demanding, and someone's like, you need to show up for this, I want you to be at my party, how come you're not going? Is it that you hate me, you don't care about me, right? Maybe they're guilting you into doing something. So now it's a good check-in point for you is, are you serious about the things that you say that you no longer want? Or are you just saying that? So Mercury Retrograde is a very beautiful time, okay? Beautiful, hard lessons, but beautiful regardless, to really check in with yourself and really check in with where you're at and really check in that, are you really serious about getting the stuff done? Because again, in the sign of Capricorn, it's all about getting the stuff done. Theme number 2. The theme number 2 here, it is all about understanding that it started from December 28th, 29th, moving into the new year. So, like literally a couple of days left, and then it's like we're hit with Mercury retrograde. So what is that? Symbolize, right? It symbolizes that as you are moving from 2022 to 2023, there is a lot of lessons that needs to be integrated. Because Mercury is in retrograde, again, that reflective energy is the integration. So have you learned the lesson? Right? And what are the lessons? So this is going to be a very good time for you and a very good exercise that I'm going to invite you to do is to pull out your journal, or you can comment below. Would love to hear this. Is to write down all the lessons that you've learned in 2022 and how are you integrating them. So for example, if you learn that I really need to take care of myself, and my health is falling apart and I'm just running around and doing all the things for people, but I haven't even have time for myself. So how are you integrating it? Well, Capricorn, again, is about practicality, putting into action, physical action. So how does that work? Maybe carve out 1 hour every day. Me time. When I wake up, it's about me. Right? So how are you integrating the lessons moving into 2023, which is a really beautiful time, because guess what? You don't have to wait until the next year in order to get the stuff crack-a-lacking. You can actually start right now. And theme number 3, this is something that we alluded earlier. It's about that communication, and also it's about when things are going a little bit sideways, like maybe your flights are getting delayed, cancel, anything that has to do with, how do you say this? Saying the right things and communicating the right ideas, writing the email in a way where sometimes it doesn't communicate the way that you want to, right? So sometimes when that happens, it can bring us a lot of like headaches, like, oh my gosh, but I wish my Zoom meeting went perfect. Oh, I wish I didn't say that word. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Now I feel stupid in front of people. So all of these things is bringing to your awareness how hard you've been on yourself. And also it's going to bring up awareness around the details, how they matter and maybe how they don't matter, right? So it really depends on your situation. So really feel into this in a way where, does it really matter if like your freaking light doesn't work or your mic doesn't work, but you're able to just communicate the message? Maybe the quality is not there, right? So maybe that's one of them. Maybe it's about writing an email or communicating your ideas to someone. If you're someone like me whose English was not their first language, I was born in Vietnam, and like I was really struggling with learning English, and I got like made fun of and bullied in my life. So I've been always conscious about the way I speak and my accent and stuff like that. But those days are over. I'm owning it now. But this is the energy of like, does it really matter if you like mispronounce something? Does it really matter if your grammar is not perfect? Does it really matter if you're not saying the right word, but you're communicating? You see, this is the details, right? The perfectionism that really takes us away from our true essence. And honestly, when I started this channel and doing a lot of my online work, I used to care so much about the way I sound, because remember, I had that like blockage in my mind where I felt like, oh my gosh, I want to sound stupid if I don't pronounce things right. So I would like try really hard to sound like perfect and make sure my sentences sounds like, grammarly correct. But honestly, right now, in this point of my life, I've gone through the phases and I realized none of that stuff really matters. What really matters and why I'm connecting with you and, my thousands of following is through my heart, through my soul, through the depth of my message. And I show up because I care, not because, oh, I want to be Miss Perfect. So these are some reflections that you can borrow and really go deep into your life. So where does the details actually matter and where the details actually don't matter? So can you let go of that? Because again, with this Capricorn energy, in the Mercury retrograde, Capricorn is about getting the work done, right? Can you get the work done without worrying about these like little details, right? Have you met someone who's like, I have an idea, I'm gonna do it, and they're gonna execute it. And then they execute it. It's a little bit not perfect, maybe a little bit sloppy, but they get it done. And then maybe you're sitting on an idea, an invention, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a genius idea, this is my $1 million idea, but then you haven't done any action because you're like, oh, but then I need to know how to do a website. Oh, I need to know how to do this. It's like we're kind of taking ourselves out of the game, while someone who doesn't have that block, they're just like, the detail doesn't matter. I know, I'll figure it out along the way. This is a sign of true success. So can you borrow that and bring that into your year of 2023 and really make shift happen? If you got anything from this, like this video, let me know down below. What is it that you are committing to into 2023? And if you guys haven't seen this video I made for you, oh my gosh, check it out. You're gonna really, really love the energy behind it. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.